Okay, so the strongest character in Jujutsu Kaisen just so happens to also have the most complex set of powers in the show. Join me as I tell you exactly how Gojo's powers work in Jujutsu Kaisen. To start this off, we gotta talk about his two main sources of power, the Limitless and the Six Eyes. As you probably know, the Gojo family is one of the three big main Jujutsu sorcery families in Japan. Both the Limitless technique and the Six Eyes are inherent techniques that run in the Gojo family, but Satoru was the first in over 400 years to be born with both. Now, the Limitless is basically where he gets all of his power because that's where his techniques are derived from. The Limitless gives Gojo the ability to conceptualize and realize the infinity. Now basically what this means is that Gojo can bend space and time at his will. So basically you can imagine an infinite void of space between Gojo and his enemy at all times. This makes him virtually untouchable, and it works like this. There's a finite amount of space between Gojo and his target. The Limitless allows Gojo to take this finite amount of space and divide it and continue dividing it an infinite number of times. As a result, the space is now a fraction so small that realistically nothing can work its way through the infinity. There are several exceptions to this rule though. Domain expansions stronger than Gojo's can potentially nullify the effects of the infinity, but we all know there's only one guy in the whole show that possibly could ever even do this, which is Sukuna, so we'll see if that ever happens. Most recently though, we've seen curse tools, specifically the inverted spear of heaven that Toji uses, be able to nullify the effects of and pierce through the infinity. This tool is the only one we've seen so far that has this ability, and that's because its inherent ability with the curse imbued in it is to nullify other curse techniques. Think of it like an anti-magic sword from Black Clover. The next part of the Limitless is Gojo's curse technique lapse, Blue. Blue is the most basic attack mechanism of the Limitless. It's basically when Gojo just pours a lot of cursed energy into the Limitless, which amplifies the concept of the infinity and the unlimited number of divisions we talked about earlier. This space manipulation creates an extreme force of attraction in a space that Gojo specifies, so it's kind of like a little black hole that he can control. Recently, we saw him use Blue in a sweeping motion to destroy all the buildings around him to protect himself from Toji, if you remember seeing that. Now, before Gojo learned reverse curse technique and then unlocked all the rest of his techniques like we're going to talk about later, Blue was pretty much the only offensive attack he could use. With only Blue as an attack mechanism, Gojo was still considered a special grade sorcerer and probably still the strongest sorcerer in the world. If he was the strongest in the world then, just imagine how strong he is now that he has all these other powers we're fixing to talk about. It's insane. Now, stepping away from the abilities of the Limitless for chronology's sake, we're going to talk about reverse curse technique. A basic understanding of cursed energy lets us know that cursed energy is negatively charged in its base form. Reverse curse technique allows sorcerers to take this negative cursed energy and turn it into positive energy. This positive energy is primarily used for healing a human body, but Gojo uses it for other things as well. When Gojo fought Toji the first time, he was put on the brink of death. To recover, he has to master reverse curse technique. Besides boosting his already insane kit with a healing factor, reverse curse technique allows Gojo to take the positive energy that it creates and channel it into the infinity, which gives him the ability to unlock his next ability, Red. Now, curse technique reversal, Red, was Gojo's next logical step in attack. Like the name implies, reversal Red is the complete reverse of Blue. Instead of creating a black hole of attraction like Blue, Red creates an extremely strong repelling force. So instead of compressing everything around it, Red repels it. It manifests in a tiny red orb, but as the saying goes, big things come in small packages. Now that's basically all there is to say about Red, but now we can talk about the culmination of everything so far, Hollow Purple. Hollow Purple is what happens when you take the infinite culmination of negative energy, Blue, and combine it with the infinite culmination of positive energy, Red. Instead of just attracting or repelling everything around it, Purple actually creates an imaginary mass of energy that Gojo can control. When this mass collides with literally anything, it just deletes whatever it touches. We saw this happen in Gojo and Toji's second fight when Gojo just blew away half of Toji's body. In my opinion, this is by far the strongest attack move we've seen in Jujutsu Kaisen so far. Now let's talk about Gojo's other inherent gift that lets him use the Limitless to its maximum potential possible. The Six Eyes are an inherent gift to the Gojo clan. Honestly, the best way to understand this and the best comparison I have is that of the Byakugan from Naruto to the Six Eyes. The Six Eyes allow Gojo to microscopically see the flow of cursed energy, just like the Byakugan allowed people in Naruto to see the flow of chakra. Also, like the Byakugan, the 6 eyes allow Gojo to see extremely far, like his vision is just insane, and he can also see with his eyes blindfolded. Now I know you're probably thinking,
well, that's cool and all, but how in the world does this help Gojo use the Limitless to its maximum potential?
we're getting there. The most important aspect of the 6 eyes is the precision at which they allow Gojo to manipulate and use cursed energy. If Gojo didn't have the 6 eyes, the use of the Limitless would drain his cursed energy extremely fast. The 6 eyes allow Gojo to use cursed energy so efficiently that he basically won't ever run out of cursed energy in a fight. He uses so little, it's insane. Now the downside of the 6 eyes is that cannot be deactivated, and while that in itself is not a bad thing, the fact that they drain his physical stamina over time is. To combat this, we see Gojo cover his eyes with sunglasses or bandages, or later his blindfold. Like I said before, the 6 eyes are just so strong that he can still see with his eyes covered, so that's just what he has to do. Now, Gojo's domain expansion is the ultimate culmination of everything we've talked about, all his techniques and gifts. Using the power of the Limitless, Gojo brings himself and his target inside the infinity itself. He also has to have the 6 eyes uncovered in order to do this. Now, because of the power of the 6 eyes, Gojo and anyone he touches are immune to the effects of the infinity, so it doesn't bother them. Now, a target's mind is completely different. It's flooded with so much information at one time that they can see and feel everything in the universe at once, but they can't process any of it. To put this into perspective, just 0.2 seconds inside the unlimited void conveys half a year's worth of information to the target's mind. In my opinion, nothing will ever touch the unlimited void in the domain expansion battle, except for maybe Malevolent Shrine, but I guess we'll see if that ever happens. Now, Gojo does have some other abilities made possible by the Limitless, most notably teleportation. Since he's able to control space, he can just manipulate it and teleport places instantly. He can also jump through a couple hoops and teleport other people as well. It's just really cool, and I thought I'd include it. Now, these abilities of Gojo tell you exactly how his powers work in a fight, but if you really want to learn more about the character, you got to check out this video about him on screen right now. Until next time, peace.